Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I am here today with our latest challenge. It's just basically a summer theme. So I've got two cards to share. So I'm using the new Sunburst card mat die. Well, pretty new. And I'm just quickly putting it together onto a piece of 4 by 5¼ inch scrap of Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock. So this is a scrap because there's something printed on the back. And I'm just using my ATG gun, sort of covering it with some tape. I just find it easiest to do this. And then I go ahead and I assemble my Sunburst. So I'm making two cards, a vertical A2 and a horizontal A2. Both cut at, well, it's 4.25 by 11 inches, scored at 5.5. And then the other one is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. So now I'm taking the outside of one pattern. These patterns are Lawn Fawns. That is from Let's Polka, that little diagonal stripe. And then the other one is Knock on Wood. So they're both yellow. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of lining up my frame die so I can sort of put it together like a jigsaw puzzle. So it's easy peasy. I'm just cutting off anything that I didn't get straight. It's not a big deal. And then I find it easier to lay out all the pieces the way that they pop out of the rectangle when you're putting it together, because then it's really fast. Otherwise, you're searching all over the place and it just takes too long. So I cut all my dies out using my Gemini machine, like normal. I also score all my card bases with a Teflon bone folder and a Martha Stewart scoreboard. So those are EK Success tweezers, and I'm just grabbing each little piece and slipping them in. So this was this Sunburst die is a great die just to make a fast background for a card. It's intricate, it has the stitching, it looks fabulous. I just find it's great. And I thought it's the perfect thing to start out the challenge, the summer theme, because you get a big sun, right? These are kind of more tropical looking cards, but what can I say? So now I am going on with my second card front, and I'm just quickly going to line all of these up, and it makes it super fast and easy. So you know that we have a Jaded Blossom Challenge over at the Jaded Blossom blog once a month, and it always starts on the first Sunday of the month. And the previous challenge, you always have to have everything loaded up by the Saturday, the first Saturday of the month. And then that way on the Sunday, they announce who won and what the new challenge is. So like I said, this for June, our challenge is summer. So you just have to make something that's summer themed and link it up over at the Jaded Blossom blog, because I'd love to see it. So there we go. So now I'm using tropical dies too, rainbow dies, tropical dies, card mat dies, and rain or shine. So that is my piece of paper tray ink white cardstock that I'm scoring at 5.5 inches. That is an A2 sized vertical card. Like I said, paper tray ink white cardstock, Teflon bone folder. And then I'm going to put together my card base. So what I did is I used my card mat. So I went ahead and I cut the beach out with the tropical die, and I cut the waves out with the tropical die. And then I went ahead and then recut them with the card mat die so I have stitching on them. And then I'll use the leftover beach part for the inside of the card later. So now I'm using my ATG gun here. I actually ran out of tape there. I had to grab my other one. And I'll just line this up on the card. There we go. Now normally I get this pretty straight, but I did not. So I had to cut. I just cut it off, and I'm applying it to the front of the card base with an extra layer now on it. You got to be careful when you're using ATG tape. So now I'm going to center that, and it just gives it a little bit more presence really. So I'm not too worried about it. That doesn't bother me. There we go. So now I am using the Rain or Shine stamp set. I'm using Hello Sunshine, and I'm going to do some stamp surgery. I'll be using this stamp set on both cards, and I'm stamping, just freehand stamping, with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink and an acrylic block. You see that I'm working on my Stampin' Up pad like normal. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp hello first. I'm just testing it to make sure I'm getting a good image. And I'm going to stamp that in the lower right-hand corner of this is going to be the lower right-hand corner of the beach. So I'm going to stamp hello first, then I'll stamp sunshine second. So easy stuff. And like I said, lots of fun. I like these tropical dies from Jaded Blossom. So this is tropical dies 1 and 2 that I used. 1 is the beach and the waves, and 2 I'll be bringing in the flip-flops. So there we are. So hello sunshine. So fast and easy. So now I'm going to layer everything up. And I'm just going to have the waves peeking above the beach. And I didn't really line up the bottom so well on this one, but it doesn't really matter because, you know, I just wanted the stitching on either side that's going to be showing above the beach. So it's only a couple of stitch lines, but you know, these are the things that keep me up at night. What can I say? There we go. So now I'm going to apply that to my card base using my HEG gun as normal. I'm just going to line that all up. So now there's my little beach scene. And now I've got my flip-flops. So that paper right there is Paper Tray Ink Aqua Mist. And I cut out the bottoms of the soles of the flip-flops, I guess. And I'm just popping those up using Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And then basically I'm just going to build my little flip-flops there. So I just got to add the little toe piece. There we are. And I'm using art glitter glue for that in a little bottle. And my EK Success tweezers just so I can grab them. These things actually are not directional, but like one is meant for the left foot, one is meant for the right foot. You can kind of tell by the curve. So you don't want to mess that up or it kind of looks a little wonky. There we go. So fast and easy stuff. And then it comes with a little flower that you can put on the flip-flops, because what's flip-flops without a little flower on your toe, right? So now I'm going to cut a couple of little pieces of foam squares. I'm using Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, but I'll just trim off 2 little tiny pieces for the flowers. So these were 2 really easy, simple cards. You know, they're fun. They're great for a summer birthday or anything, really. If you can put whatever sentiment you want on the inside. Now, these are white, cut from that same cardstock that my card base is made out of, that Paper Tray Ink white. I think it's White Stamper Select. So now I'm using Shape Sprinkles and Winter Hugs, and I'm using the little aqua hearts, and I'm going to pop those in the center of my little flowers on my flip-flops there, using my pen blade to grab them. And then there we go. So that part's done. And I'm going to come back and finish the inside. So now this is my other card. That is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And now I am laying this out. You can see I had some printing on the back of that. That is I used a Nina Solar white scrap. And now I'm going to lay out my other sunburst on my horizontal A2 size card. There we go. So fun and games. Now this, I was a little bit better at lining stuff up on this one. So I'm going to pop on my Lawn Fun. You know what? I don't think I told you what that pad was. That is Watercolor Wishes, actually, the water. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't tell you. So I used Let's Polka in the 6-inch, Knock on Wood in the 6-inch, and Watercolor Wishes in the 6-inch. The watercolor is for the water. So now I am popping my beach on. That's that Nina Desert Storm 80 pound again. There we go. So fun stuff. So now my little beach sandals are in Limeade Ice. That was the color of the little toe piece on the other one. And then I'm adding white Stamper Select Paper Tray Ink cardstock for the little toe pieces on these little flip-flops. So like I said, easy peasy. If you're making one card, you might as well make 2 of similar cards. It's just, you know, you're already cutting stuff. You might as well do that. So now I'm popping up the 2 little foam pieces here. Those are the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals that I kind of cut up. So I can pop my little flowers on there. The flowers are that Aqua Mist cardstock from Paper Tray Ink again. So kind of fun, kind of pretty. You know, pretty little colors. I'd wear these. And now I'm going to add the Winter Hugs shape sprinkles from Doodlebug. These are in white. I'm just going to put those in the center of each of the little flowers. There we go. And that's that. So now I'm going to pop those up on my card base, but I've got to figure out where I'm putting my sentiment first. So I'm going to use the Hello Sunshine again. And I could have put it back together, but I decided to stamp them separately. And those are going to be in the lower left-hand side of this card base, whereas the other one was in the lower right-hand side for the sentiment. And you'll see that I've already have my clouds from the rainbow dies kind of laid out on this card base. I cut them out of that same paper tray ink white cardstock. And I'm using a couple of clouds on each card, and I'll be adding those. So now I'm going to stick down one of the flip-flops so it's lower, and then I'm going to pop up the other one with Stampin' Up! Dimensional. So fun stuff, little beach scene for summer. In Thunder Bay, we are cold unless it's the summertime. We have a short summer, and when it's summer, we all take advantage of it and head to the beach, go swimming. You know, we have a good time. There we go. We head out to our camp, actually. We have it's kind of, I guess you'd call it a cottage. I don't know. It's kind of like a house on the lake. And our camp's on Lake Superior, and we have a great time down there every summer. There we go, because we have a nice big beach. And now I'm popping up this second cloud. So there we go. So we've got one glued directly to the card base and one is popped up. So now I'm adding two more clouds. I love these clouds from the rainbow dies from Jaded Blossom. They're my favorite. I love the shape. They kind of like are cartoonish, but not really. I don't know. I just love the shapes of these ones. They're my favorite. So now I'm going to cut up the edge and get some more foam dimension on this card. So like I was saying, in Thunder Bay, that's where I'm from, Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. We look forward to summer, and you get a lot of people out there fishing. So now I am pulling out Doodlebug's Odds and Ends, the Fairy Garden, and there's two suns in that. And now I am adding the leftover beach from that card mat die that I cut out of Nina Desert Storm cardstock. That's the beach on the one card. That's the leftover beach. And then I'm going to add the little sunshine. But first of all, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. So the sentiment on the inside of this one says, which is perfect, there is a sunshiny birthday in your forecast. Stamping it in the same VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then I'm going to add that adorable little sun from Doodlebug Fairy Garden, Odds and Ends. You know what? They have adorable little clip art that you can use. And I like to use them on the inside of cards because sometimes you don't get around to using all of them. And you know, there's so many different things to use on there. You might as well use them. So I like to, make my inside of my card a little bit more special. So now this is the leftover piece from the vertical beach that I cut. Because what I do is I cut the full piece of cardstock with the card mat die, and then I cut it at the level I want the beach to be at. And then I've got two pieces of beach, right? One on either side. So I've used one on the front of the card and one on the inside of the card. So that's basically what I did. So easy stuff. I'm just going to add that last little sun. How cute is that? And now I'm going to add my favorite. This is Nuvo Crystal Drops in Simply White. And I'm just going to add a few of these little droplets here and there. And what's nice about this is it's a color I've already introduced on this card, so it's not going to stand out too much, but it gives it a little bit of texture, which is nice. And that's about it. So this was a super fast and easy card. I'd love to see what you come up with for our summer challenge. You could make a card. You can pretty much make anything with paper and a Jaded Blossom product on there somewhere. And I'd love to see it. They always give away a free stamp set when you win, which is kind of fun. And there we go. So thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. All the details about these two cards will be on my blog, leescraps.blogspot.com. And I always list everything that I use. So thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.